In this video, I'm going to show you why nobody really wants a free press, but everyone needs it. Everyone has that one friend who never gets invited to any parties because he creeps everybody out by talking about weird niche things like terraforming Mars with cockroaches. Now imagine that guy buying a social media company, advertising it as the bastion of free speech. You get Elon Musk. So brilliant that even his own brain can't catch up to him. He bought Twitter, now X, and marketed it as a new free speech bastion. With this purchase, questions arose about the role of free press and the importance of a free public sphere where ideas can engage in mortal combat. However, rather than the good ideas rising to the top, the most incoherent and loudest ideas turned out to be the ones getting the most attention. Of course, the community notes function helps, but the notes function is an imperfect system and is still in its infancy. What is interesting about the Twitter post-free speech takeover is that the best ideas never rose to the top. Not because Twitter tried to suppress them, but because people don't want the best ideas or correct ideas. People are lazy and look for affirmation. Before continuing, if you enjoy the content, feel free to press the like button and subscribe. It will only take you a few seconds, but it will help the channel immensely. Thank you. Anyway, everyone talks about how they want a free press, and the argument in favor of it usually goes as follows. With free press, people can have all the viewpoints at their disposal, so they can adopt the most correct and accurate opinions. After all, no one knows if they are correct unless they get exposed to contrary opinions. In no other time period in history has this proven more true than our own time. With the invention of the internet, we are no longer beholden to traditional media or newspaper. So, we should expect everyone to hold the most accurate and true opinions since they can research literally anything using their phone. However, that is not the case. With more and more information, it seems rather than looking for contrary opinions to test their already held beliefs, people quickly opt for opinions that confirms their biases. Testing your opinion is hard. People hold on to their opinions like newborn babies, and criticizing their opinion is like calling their kids ugly. Looking for opinions that are contrary to our own, then, is like calling our own babies ugly, and no one is willing to do that no matter how ugly their babies are. And some babies are hella ugly. Because we hold our opinions so dear, especially opinions about stuff we know absolutely nothing about, it is very challenging to look and accept contrary opinions. Combine this with our basic laziness, and you get a recipe for a lazy person who believes their ideas so much they become a fanatic. This is great for commentators whose main currency is attention and retention of attention. However, for a liberal society, this is not healthy at all. In a liberal society where freedom of the press exists and people don't look for contrary opinions to test the validity of their already held opinions, but rather they look for opinions that confirms theirs and disqualifies those that may test or challenge their biases, we get a very polarized and factionally divided liberal society. This results in everyone arguing that they want freedom of the press because it allows them to research the truth, but in reality, all they want is an environment where they can get affirmation without pushback, a situation which the new Twitter has exploited for the most extreme views. Now is the time for us to turn to everyone's famous pessimist, David Hume, and what he had to say about freedom of the press. In an essay titled Of Freedom of the Press, Hume writes that in a society where free press exists, people have effectively an alarm bell that rings anytime the regime is becoming tyrannical. However, in later editions, Hume changed the ending from a free press acting as an alarm bell to freedom of the press being a necessary evil all free regimes need to contend with. A drastic change to say the least. The essay changed because during Hume's time, a radical newspaper, North Britain, published several sensational claims about the government of the time, which led to riots and factionalism. Seeing this, Hume concluded that free press does not automatically mean people will choose the right information by stress testing their opinion, but rather people flock to organizations that confirms their biases, which leads to polarization and factionalism. This means that people do not want freedom of the press for the sake of finding out the correct opinion, but they want a free press that lets their favorite press, i.e., organizations that affirm their biases, to run amok without pushback. However, the argument that a free press is necessary for free government stands. It is true that no one can be sure about the correctness of their opinion until they stress test it. This is what makes a free press necessary, because no one knows when they are right and when they are wrong. And a free press helps us by making available the right opinions from sources people otherwise would not have encountered. So, a free press is necessary, but it is rare that people use it to seek contrary opinion. Most people just read the newspaper headline on Twitter, and the current Twitter's algorithm shows you what you find likable, not what is correct or accurate. This is why many proponents of Twitter currently argue not that it is good or accurate, but that it is most fun it has been in a long time. The same is true for many other social media services. This makes commentators who have a vested interest in getting your attention to try to find what it is that you want to hear and just repeat it back to you. But this is not healthy for a liberal society. We need to be challenged. We need to have our ideas tested because, as the old saying goes, pressure makes diamonds. This is why people who are the most hardcore proponents of free press try to shut down opinions they don't like or are critical of them. And guess what? Their supporters cheer them on. As it stands, we are circling the drain and there is no end in sight. Less and less people are looking to contrary opinions and becoming more and more entrenched in echo chambers. Alternative media personalities exploit the situation by consistently feeding the echo chambers with the same opinions, pushing their supporters further and further into zealotry in order to get a piece of that cloud pie. As I said at the beginning of this video, no one really wants a free press, but at the end of the day, we all desperately need it. So we have to find a way to preserve it. But is there a way to break people away from their echo chambers and have them question their ideas in a productive way? I don't know. But hey, if you manage to watch to the end of this video, I would recommend taking what people online say with a grain of salt. Read the actual article people are referencing, not just the title on Twitter. And stay away from Twitter while you're at it, because junk food is not good for you. Best of luck, viewer, and I'll see you in the next video.